Welcome back to OT Sports. Today we got our Colonial Conference Tournament predictions. As you guys may or may not already know, we're doing all 32 college basketball conferences. We're picking every single tournament right here on this channel, so make sure you subscribe to this channel if you are new. Turn on the noties to make sure you don't miss out on any of our videos. This is the third video we've done today. Yesterday we did 3 as well. Monday we did 4. Tomorrow we're probably going to do 3 again. I mean, this is the best time of year. The conference tournaments are just now starting, and we're picking every single one right here on this channel. So make sure you subscribe if you're interested in any of that. We also do college basketball along with college football, NFL, NBA, and MLB. As always, my Discord and X are linked in the description. You could join that. You could follow that. Whatever you'd like to do. But let's just move right into this bracket. So this conference is actually a lot bigger than I realized. They got 14 teams in here, and yeah, it's a pretty nice little bracket here. We got a lot of buys, first and 2-round buys. So it's a pretty nice looking bracket, and we're just gonna dive right on into it. So starting out with North Carolina A&T taking on William and Mary, I believe that is. Yeah, William and Mary. Ultimately, I'm going to keep this one short and simple. I'm not going to take North Carolina A&T. I'm going to take William and Mary. North Carolina A&T is the worst ranked team in terms of KenPom overall efficiency in this conference. They are not the lowest seed, but they are the lowest team in KenPom. They are a bottom 14 team in the country, so I'm not too high on that. So I'm going to take William and Mary. They are a little bit better. They got a top 300 offense, I guess. Their defense is pretty bad though. But I mean, these two teams not great. I mean, the bottom teams at the bottom of this conference aren't anything special here. Moving down to the 11 versus 14, Elon taking on Hampton. This is an interesting one. Hampton is pretty bad. They're 8-23 overall. I don't know. I can see this going either way. I'm gonna go with Elon. I think they're offensively they're just they stick out to me a little bit. They're higher up in offense than some of the teams in this conference. They're at 238 overall, which is pretty good for this conference. Now, obviously, it's gonna get better, and we'll get to that. But these are the lower seeds. So, of the lower seeds, Elon, of these teams that have to play in this first round little play-in game, I guess you'd call it, Elon probably has the best chance to make a run. Just because of their offense being pretty solid. Moving up to the 8-9, Monmouth taking on Campbell. This is a nice little 8-9 game here to figure out who plays the 1 seed. Now, Campbell is actually pretty low. They're one of the lowest teams in terms of KenPom efficiency. They are bottom 5 in this conference. And Monmouth is actually pretty high up compared to Campbell. They're at 194 overall. They got just outside the top 200 in offense and defense. Campbell is outside of the top 300, so I'm gonna go with Monmouth. I think they could definitely make some noise in this tournament, and I mean, call me crazy, I could see them winning next round. We'll see what I end up taking, but I could definitely see them winning that one against Charleston. Moving down to the 5 versus 13 matchup, we got Towson taking on William and Mary. It's always a little scary for these teams who have to come off not playing for almost a week and play a team who played just yesterday and won. But I will go with Towson. I think they're just overall the more complete, more well-rounded, solid team here in this matchup. They are 160 overall in KenPom, so actually pretty good. Their defense is just outside the top 100, so I think their defense should be enough to get them over this little game here and move them on to the quarterfinals. Stony Brook taking on Northeastern. You could flip a coin for this one. Stony Brook is quite a bit higher in KenPom, so I'll go with them. And you can't always bet on KenPom efficiency, but for conferences like this, that's kind of what I factor in a lot, just because of the lack of tournament teams. I mean, obviously this is going to be a one-bid league, so we're not going to know too much about every single conference. So KenPom is a pretty big factor when taking these picks. So I'll take Towson to move on, and then I'll take Stony Brook to move on here in the 7-10. And then the 6 versus 11 game, Delaware taking on Elon. I will go Delaware. I think Elon could definitely win this game. I could see Elon going on a little run, maybe making the semifinals, honestly. But I will go with Delaware because I honestly think they can do a little bit of a similar thing, and they're a little bit more well-rounded. They're a little bit more complete. They're 170 overall in KenPom. They got an 18-13 record. They're close to being positive in terms of adjusted offensive efficiency minus adjusted offensive defensive efficiency. They're close to being positive. They're not quite there, but they are close. So I will take Delaware here to move on to the quarterfinals. So now we got the bracket set. It's a little bit chalky so far, but there will be upsets, I promise you. So yeah, we got the top 8 seeds all in the quarterfinals. This is just what I see happening. Realistically, will it happen? Probably not. There's always upsets. But this is just how I see it right now. Charleston as the 1 seed taking on the 8 seed Monmouth. Charleston will have not played for quite a bit. Monmouth having played the day before, getting a nice win. And I think they could actually do this. I wouldn't be shocked. They are way higher than I expected in terms of efficiency from an 8 seed. And they're very well rounded. They're close to like Stony Brook and Delaware. Yeah, I could definitely see it. I will go with the safe option and take Charleston. Charleston is the highest ranked team in this conference. They're just outside the top 100 in overall KenPom efficiency. They're 24-7 though, 61st in offense, very solid, but the defense being just inside the top 200 doesn't look great for them. But you know, I could definitely see them winning this one against the 8 seed. I'll take them to move on to the semifinals. UNC Wilmington taking on Towson. I do worry for UNC Wilmington in this one. Like I said, when you get a game before a team who hasn't played in a week, it definitely helps you, and we see that a lot where teams will carry the momentum on. But I am going to go with UNC Wilmington. I think they get it done. They are actually the second highest ranked team in terms of overall KenPom efficiency. They're at 113 overall, 10 spots behind Charleston. And Hofstra and Drexel are also very close. So this could honestly, you could take really any of the top 4 seeds to win this conference tournament. I wouldn't call you crazy. They're all within 20 spots of each other. They're all either at over 20 wins or just below it at 19, and they're all inside the top 125. Drexel, I think I will take them to beat Stony Brook. Like I said, these top 4 seeds are, you could take any of them to win the tournament. I wouldn't call you crazy. But down at this 3-6, I'm actually going to go with Delaware. I think I can't take all the top 4 seeds to make it to the semifinals. That's just, it's not going to realistically play out that way. And I think Delaware has the tools to take down Hofstra. I think Hofstra is probably the weakest of the top 4 seeds. Hofstra is not the lowest ranked overall KenPom team, but they rely a little bit more on offense than I'd like them to. They're at 119 offense, 130 defense. Drexel at 149 offense and 119 defense. I'm going to value defense a little bit more here. So I will end up saying Hofstra is the worst of the 4, so I'm going to take them to lose against this Delaware team. Charleston and UNC Wilmington. Now, in my eyes, these are the 2 best teams in this conference, and I think, spoiler, I think whoever wins this one will win the conference. Now, yeah, like I said, this is going to be a very great game, and it's going to be a fun one to watch. Charleston at 61st in offense, all the way down at 190 in defense. UNC Wilmington, even more extreme than that, 56th in offense, but all the way down at 215 in defense. So they got the higher offense, but they definitely have the lower defense. So I could definitely see this one getting into a shootout. And the fact that UNC Wilmington is higher than Charleston in adjusted offensive efficiency, I'm going to go ahead and take UNC Wilmington to take out Charleston. This is probably a hot take. A lot of people will probably take Charleston in this tournament, but I'm going to go with UNC Wilmington. I really like their offense. They got the best offense in terms of KenPom in this conference. And yeah, I think they can take down Charleston. I think that game will be a very fun game to watch, possibly in the 90s. I mean, that's just going to turn into a shootout there. That'll be a fun one to watch, but I think UNC Wilmington ultimately comes out on top there. Then we got the other semifinal matchup, the 2 seed taking on the 6 seed. I will go with Drexel. I don't think Delaware can get all the way there. Drexel is a pretty solid team, and we've seen them make the tournament in recent memory. I think they made it 2 years ago or 3 years ago. They made it somewhat recently in the past 3 years, I think. So I will go with Drexel. They're a very experienced team. I think they can get it done. Like I said, they are 122 in overall KenPom efficiency, which isn't far off compared to Charleston and UNC Wilmington. Only about 20 spots behind Charleston and like 10 behind UNC Wilmington. And they're a pretty good defensive team just outside the top 100. So I'll go ahead and take Drexel over Delaware. I don't think Delaware can really do much here. Delaware all the way down at 170. Yeah, I just can't really go with them there. They also rely on defense, and I think Drexel's defense is just a little bit better than Delaware here. Their offense is also ranked higher, so I'll go with Drexel to move on to the championship game. But that sets up a 4 seed versus a 2 seed in the championship game. And like I said, I spoiled it a little bit earlier, but I'm going to take UNC Wilmington. I think whoever wins that game between them and Charleston will end up winning the tournament. So I'm going to take UNC Wilmington to take it home. Like I said, their offense is just amazing. And Drexel does have a pretty solid defense, but I don't think it can stop UNC Wilmington's. If this one gets into a shootout, which I think it very well could, with UNC Wilmington's being as high of an offense as they are, they shoot the ball very well. They're very efficient offense. They don't really play fast, but they make the ball into the hoop. They make their shots. They make their clutch shots. Like I said, very efficient team. So I'm going to trust them to get it done, and I'm going to take a 4 seed to win the Colonial tournament. You can't always take the 1 and 2 seeds. There's going to be some teams in there, and I think UNC Wilmington is well equipped to take this conference tournament home and punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament, and we'll see what they can do in March Madness. Yeah. So that's going to do it for this video, the Colonial Conference Tournament predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like I said earlier, all 32 college basketball conference predictions within the next 2 weeks. Well, within the next week, really, because all of them will have started by this point next week. So for the most part, within the next week here, we're getting all 32 of them out. We already have about 10 out if you include this one, so you can go check those out. They'll be popping up on the screen here. As always, my Discord and X are linked in the description. You can join that, you can follow that, whatever you'd like to do. But I will this is going to be the last video for today, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're doing 3 videos tomorrow, maybe 2, but probably 3. So we'll see you guys with those tomorrow.